Hopefully you guys can see me. I think it was lagging a little bit there. Anyway, let's have a look here. A new Palantir partnership has been announced. And I put on my tweet yesterday, my X post. This is funny because literally 1 hour ago on my live stream, I said, I want to see a new partnership announced soon. The Palantir gods listened. And here we are with a new partnership that has indeed been announced. So what actually is this? Well, it's with a company called Option Care Health, and they have selected Palantir's artificial intelligence platform, AIP, for enterprise-wide digital transformation. So this is the official announcement that gets posted onto the Palantir website. So this is like the official place. So you want to keep an eye on this as a Palantir investor under their investor relations section. What I will say is quite often, not always, but quite often this is a little bit delayed. We sometimes see a partnership announced and then we see this page get updated a few days later, or it doesn't even get updated at all. So just bear that in mind. But what is this? Well, this is a new partnership, a multi-year partnership, which is always good. We like the announcement of a multi-year partnership on the commercial side of Palantir with Option Care Health. They are an independent provider of home and alternative site infusion services. So, you know, when people get like the IV drips to make them healthier, all stuff like that. They are a provider of that. For Palantir's software to be leveraged across the company to help improve patient outcomes and increase efficiencies. Option Care Health expects to use AIP. We love to see AIP named. We love it because we are very aware as Palantir investors that it is AIP that seems to be really, really driving the interest into Palantir and driving the client acquisition growth that we are seeing, and we should see the numbers hopefully in the next earnings. So what is it doing? Well, across nurse scheduling, patient onboarding, purchasing optimization, and supply chain execution, among other potential use cases. Some of those uses there are obviously very specific to the healthcare industry. But we know that Palantir have been working with the healthcare industry quite a lot. I would say on the commercial side of Palantir's business structure, healthcare is the #1 sector right now for them. They are seeing incredible results and therefore they are growing rapidly in that sector. But we've seen this before. We've seen this in the NHS contract. We've seen this and the pilot schemes that were run. We've seen this with Cleveland Clinic, HCA, Tampa Bay, Concordance. Like so many other healthcare providers have been saying that Palantir has been very useful for nurse scheduling, purchasing optimization, patient onboarding, all of these things, delays that we're seeing. Palantir are helpful with reducing those, but also supply chain execution. So there's other things that, they are seeing with Palantir in the healthcare sector that are also very relevant across many, many sectors. And that's just some things that have been named. And they say here among other potential use cases. So we also heard, and you can read all this. Where is it? Here you go. This is from the president and CEO of Option Care Health. So this is the company Palantir are partnering with. I believe that utilizing Palantir's Foundry and AIP, there it is. Okay. So we're hearing about AIP, but remember, even though AIP isn't monetized yet, it kind of is, because what it is doing is if a client wants to utilize AIP to its fullest potential, they pretty much need the ontology in place to do that. So quite often what happens is Palantir are able to upsell Foundry. We don't have details here really, so I can't make the direct link, but they clearly said, I believe that utilizing Palantir's Foundry and AIP. So that could have happened here. And that's good as well, because that just means more integration that Palantir are having. Then that means it's stickier. It's harder for partners to remove themselves because they're so integrated, and it would be time consuming, it'd be costly. And of course, then we just have the value that Palantir are providing. So I believe that utilizing Palantir's Foundry and AIP will allow us to innovate rapidly, build on best practices, and help ensure our approach to AI and machine learning incorporates the strongest foundations and provides strong protection and integrity for our stakeholders. Okay, so all good things that we like to see here. Now, why is this particular partnership important? Well, of course, it's important just because it's a new partner. We don't yet know the monetary value of this. So I can't sit here, well, as far as I'm aware anyway, I can't sit here and say this is great because it's worth X million dollars. I don't know. But even so, it's yet another client on board. It's yet another client that saw AIP as potentially being so useful that they are willing to work with Palantir. Yet another one. That is good. Also, it is another use case, another partnership in the healthcare sector. Could Palantir's healthcare sector on the commercial side actually one day, maybe even soon, start outperforming and outdoing the defense contracts on the government side? The momentum that we're seeing is pretty insane. Like I said earlier, it is the biggest sector, the biggest vertical whereby we're seeing that client acquisition and that growth. I'm optimistic that we'll continue to see this. I think now that we've had the NHS deal in Europe and we continue to see them growing within the US, I think what's going to happen next is that they will expand more within, the European market. That's what I think is going to happen next. And hopefully, again, they will continue to expand within the US market. So I definitely expect this to continue. And I expect healthcare as a general industry to just continue to adopt AI and data efficiency and expand in their use cases of that, which we're going to talk about in just a bit. Anyway, right, let's now have a look at this. Okay, this was a post that Arnie put out, which you should absolutely follow him if you haven't already. But I'm just going to bring you up to date with what this is actually. We're not going to watch a 5-minute video on this live. So I'll bring you up to date as to what's happening. And then I will play a little clip to actually allow this lady to explain what benefits they have seen by using Palantir. So Mount Sinai, I think that's how you say it. Mount Sinai health system. So what that is that they are basically a collection of hospitals. However, in one hospital that they have, in just one department, they have made one change. So they're a collection of hospitals, one hospital within one of their departments, they've made one simple change using Palantir. That change did so well for them, and we'll hear about it in just a minute, that they are now going to scale the use of Palantir across their health system. I think this really, why I'm so excited about this is because this really pinpoints just how valuable they are, even at the tiniest of levels, that can then expand into an entire business, and the benefits just scale up. So let me tell you what's going on. So basically, they went this collection of hospitals, this health system, went from data ingestion to a go live with their first pilot of Palantir within 4 months. So that's pretty fast. I think that's only going to get faster as Palantir have more and more clients on boarding. And they picked one area of initial focus, whereby they wanted to utilize Palantir's solutions to try and get a better outcome. So what they wanted to do is, and what they already were doing but weren't seeing very good results from, was to find emergency department patients who met certain criteria. That met criteria that meant that that patient was able to be treated at home, so given ongoing care at their own home or at other hospitals that had more availability, basically, where there was a bed available. The reason for this is that they were experiencing their emergency departments just getting really overcrowded. People not getting seen for very long, people just sitting around in an overcrowded department whereby they didn't really need to. So before they worked with Palantir, what they were doing, and this is crazy, I think, with the fact that we're now in 2024 and we have computer systems, we have AI, we have all of that at our fingertips. But what they were doing is basically they had a team of people that every single day would search the patient criteria in the morning. They would do that to identify those patients, like I was saying, that actually meet the criteria to be treated at home or to be treated at another hospital, to just basically get rid of them because it was too busy. Because that process took so long, they were actually able to identify those patients at the same time as their emergency department got so busy, because it was taking like hours, I'm guessing. So then you can imagine they've now got a situation where they've got this list of patients that they can move on to home or to another hospital. But that's also at the same time as their emergency department was overflowing and really busy because it was the peak hour of the day. So that meant that they were in a really, really tough situation. And actually, all their hard work in the morning each day was kind of wasted because they then couldn't act on the results very quickly. What they were able to do is work with Palantir. That enabled them, as you can imagine, being a Palantir investor, you can just picture how quick this is, to quickly identify those patients that qualify for treatments outside of the emergency department. It was able to do that not in a matter of hours, but very, very, very quickly. With that in mind, with that background, now let me share with you exactly what was seen with this. So let's share my screen here. Turn up my volume. Hopefully the volume will be okay. It should be. I haven't changed any settings since I last did a live. So let's just watch this and see. If you don't see, if you can't hear anything, let me know on the chat. We are pressing play now.
And so what we were actually able to do was we said, okay, listen, if we can get a hold of these patients right away and reduce their time in the ED, we'll actually reduce their time on the back end of their length of stay. And that's absolutely what we found. So for all of these eligible patients that could continue their care and treatment elsewhere, we were able to shave 1.5 days off of their length of stay. And just to give you an idea of what that means for the hospital, we added 20 beds back on average every single month into the hospital without building any net new beds. And right now we're tracking an annualized ROI of $1.5 million. And just to give you a sense, that's one department, one small test of change in one hospital. So we're looking forward over the next couple of weeks to actually scale this work across the Mount Sinai Health System. And we're very confident that our results will follow. Our next steps with Palantir are to focus on some of our most vulnerable patient groups. So patients who have sepsis, we want to make sure that those patients are staying on the sepsis care pathway to get them back on their feet out of the hospital quickly. We're going to focus on some operational efficiencies in our pharmacy, our ancillary testing areas. And we're very excited about the future because truly, I think our use cases are endless.
Okay. There we go. I think that is pretty impressive. It really is. What she said there, if you missed it, is that they were able to remove 1.5 days off the length of the patient's stay. That might seem insignificant, but if you're a patient in hospital, getting out of hospital 1.5 days quicker, that's a great win. But from the hospital point of view and from the hospital's business point of view, that is really, really beneficial financially, optimizing efficiencies, all of these things. And then she said that allowed them to actually add back in 20 beds every single month into the hospital. That doesn't mean that they added new beds. They didn't physically buy new beds and put them in the hospital. It just means that 20 beds were freed up because of the optimization that Palantir were able to give them. That's all great. That's great for the hospital. They can see more patients. That's good for the patients. They get seen quicker. They get moved along quicker. Fantastic. But what that means money-wise was an annualized return on investment, an annualized return on investment of $1.5 million. $1.5 million, bearing in mind that this was one hospital in their entire health system, in one department within that one hospital, so the emergency department, and all they did was make one change using Palantir solutions. So like she was saying, if they now scale that up, you know, they one hospital, now they go to all departments, and then they scale that up to multiple hospitals, and then to all of their hospitals, to the whole system that they have. 1.5 million return on investment, what does that become? 20 new beds, 1.5 days off the length of stay. What does that all become? That makes those changes make Palantir pretty valuable to them, I would say. What does that mean? That means that we expect to see them keep coming back, renewed contracts, asking for more. Palantir, what else can you give us? Because it's been so valuable so far. These are the sort of use cases and examples that we want to see as investors. Because like we said before on this channel, there's not many people. There's a few, don't get me wrong, there's a few on X that can share their experience, but there's not actually that many people that are able to give us firsthand knowledge and experience of working with and using Palantir's software. So, you know, it's not like investing into Apple or Tesla or Microsoft, where we physically, as consumers, can use their products and understand why they're so valuable. With Palantir, we kind of have to use our imagination, we have to do research, and more importantly than that, we have to listen to use cases so that we can understand why it's valuable. So I love to hear that. To me, that was a really, really good success story for Palantir. And once again, which sector was that in? Healthcare. I think at this point, healthcare is clearly the strongest commercial sector. But I think I get even more excited when I actually see other sectors, because it's that scalability that we want to see. We want to see them expanded into many, many sectors because their total addressable market is so large. We keep banging on about this on this channel, but that is one of their, seriously, that is one of their competitive edges. That is one of the most bullish reasons to be a Palantir investor right now. We know that their scope is so huge, and they've just got to capitalize on that. It's all out there. It's all waiting for them. And not only is it actually waiting for them, but it's growing. Let me show you. Here we are. Okay. This is just in healthcare. Okay. Just in healthcare. So when we're looking at this, think about this for all sectors because it's all happening. So this is what to expect in US healthcare in 2024 and beyond. Now, don't worry too much. I'm not going to read this whole article, but I wanted to point out this bit here. We estimate, hopefully you guys can see this. Let me just zoom in ever so slightly. We estimate that healthcare profit pools will grow at a 7% compound annual growth rate from 583 billion in 2022 to 819 billion in 2027. So what that's showing us is the significant growth that is expected just in the healthcare sector. Okay, well, we know healthcare is one of the biggest sectors for Palantir. We know Palantir is growing and getting more clients within that sector. We know that the healthcare sector is getting bigger. So there's more opportunity, more growth, more options for Palantir to gain clients to capitalize on that growth. But not only that, and it's kicked me out of this, I had access to it earlier, but artificial intelligence, AI in healthcare is also seeing phenomenal growth. You can see here, in 2021, artificial intelligence in the healthcare market was worth around $11 billion worldwide. It was forecasted that the global healthcare AI market would be worth almost $188 billion by 2030, which is a compound annual growth rate of 37% from 22 to 2030. So healthcare is growing, AI in healthcare is growing. Palantir is sitting here ready to capitalize on that. Of course, they're not the only company. They're never going to get full market share or anything like that. But what we are seeing is that they are time and time again getting all of these contracts. And they're now working with some of the biggest healthcare players, not just in the US, but NHS in the UK. That was a massive deal. If this just continues to expand, I imagine what we'll end up seeing is more information about products that are specific to the healthcare sector that Palantir go on to release, because it will become such a big portion of their revenue that it would be silly for them not to roll out like I don't want to say a one fix solution software, because it's never, Palantir don't work like that, but roll out a piece of software, a product that is very, very specific to helping with the common problems that the healthcare industry see. That's what I can see coming. We've had Skywise, obviously in the aviation industry. We've had Surgeons, which is a product that Palantir have for the healthcare sector, but more in terms of like supply chain and stuff. So I imagine we will see another healthcare specific product moving forward. But who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. But this just means, what does this all mean for Palantir? Well, it means that basically there's increase in demand. That's what it means. It means more of the healthcare providers around the world will be seeking to improve their integration and their use of AI. Who do they turn to? Palantir. Not always, of course, but Palantir. And remember, this is, we've got to zoom out, because this is just one industry, one vertical on just one of their two business sections. So it gets pretty nuts when you start thinking about it. Right, let's have a look at what Palantir stock is doing pre-market. We had a very, I don't want to do that, a very, very good day yesterday. We'll start with a month. So over the last 1 month, Palantir is down by 6.19%. We know this, we've seen this inside of our portfolios. 5 days, again, you can see returning negative 1.42% over the last 5 days. But what happened yesterday? Well, we had a very, very nice run, over 4% on the day, 4.32%, which was lovely to see. And that could, it was across the board, really. I saw increases in my Tesla position, in my Nvidia position, in other positions that I have, including Palantir. Palantir, I think, actually was the best one yesterday, if I remember rightly. Like I keep saying, I don't really care about just the day-to-day, but it was exciting to see that it finally went back over that $16 mark and then some, $16.67. After yesterday, we covered how the Jeffrey analyst said that Palantir, the price target is $13. So Palantir said, no, thank you. I'm going to show you what I'm made of today. And here we are. Now it's back up, approaching maybe $17, but pre-market is now saying $16.63 per share. So it's gone down ever so slightly, but this is still fantastic. Massive, massive day yesterday. We'll see what today has in store for us. And yeah, it could be a very big year for Palantir. There's lots of things that are happening. We've obviously got Project Titan, got many things coming Palantir's way, especially the earnings. February the 8th, I believe. I could be wrong on that date. There's so many dates in my head at the moment, but that could be interesting, because what happened to the stock last time we had good earnings? Did very, very well. Did very, very well indeed. It had a massive surge. It came down slightly, but it was still up compared to what it was before the earnings were released. Obviously, the Q3 earnings that we've just had a couple of months ago, were extremely good. Will they be as good? Who knows? I'll probably end up making on a live stream or a video about what I think the earnings will do before we see them. But if it is really good, that could mean a big surge, short term anyway. With that said, let's have a look at the live chat. How is everyone? How is everyone doing? Has anyone been buying Palantir? Has anyone been selling Palantir? Was I late? Maybe my clock's wrong. I thought I was on time, but thank you for patiently waiting for me. Hello, everyone. Maybe I was late. Good morning, Fast Eddie. Got 28 more shares of Palantir. Very nice. Very nice. Maybe you were the reason that the stock went up yesterday. No internet problems. All sorted on my end now. Thank God. All aboard the Palantir choo-choo train. Destination $25. Arrival April 24. Okay. All right. John, I'm going to remember that. You need to join the Discord. I know you're a Patreon member, but come and join the Discord. I want you in there chatting every day. If you want to. You obviously don't have to. If you need a new link, by the way, just let me know. $25 by April 2024. Potentially, if the Project Titan comes, if we have good earnings, maybe a few more partnerships, it could absolutely run up to that. Could do. But I'm going to remember that. We're going to look back at that. Tesla a little flat. Let's see what Tesla's doing right now. Pre-market $239.06. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and you see this reflected in my portfolio, Tesla is another stock that I am incredibly bullish on. And I really think that we could see 2024 be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. There are so many things that are sitting like undisturbed, like they're ready to go. They're ready to go. And when they go, I expect the stock to do the same thing. Still a very long-term position for me. Ooh, I use Foundry every day. Interesting. It would be cool. I don't know. Are you on X or? It'd be cool for you to send me a message somewhere, maybe on X, maybe email me. There's the email in my description. I'd love to hear more about this. This is interesting. Like I said, not many people actually have hands-on experience every day. So I'd absolutely love to learn from you and your experience using Foundry. Guess I'm grabbing some more Palantir today. What's everyone's, in terms of your portfolio allocation, let me know, is Palantir your largest position? And if it's not, where does it fit in? Is it the third largest, the second largest? Is it the 10th largest in your portfolio? Let me know. No worries, Sir Lallington. Can you do a video on Apple, please? Probably not on this channel, because this channel focuses on positions in my portfolio and I don't have Apple. However, you should definitely go and check out my second channel. It's called Stock Speak and I cover way more different stocks. So I could absolutely cover Apple on that channel. But yeah, go and check out that one because it's not just Tesla and Palantir. So it's Stock Speak. Largest for me and growing. Do you have any other positions, Terry, or is it just all Palantir? Drew in the 90+% in my Roth IRA. That's a bullish position. 90%. I've gone on such a journey since when I started investing in terms of diversification versus not being that diversified. And although I think diversification it lowers your risk and it does this and it does that, for me, where I am in my journey, I'm seeing the most gains by niching down more and having larger positions in just a few stocks. I think there is a fine line between having loads of individual stocks to the point where you might as well just get an ETF. Where does the accent originate? I have a British accent, a Southern British accent, I guess. The consumer electronic, so the SE, God, words. What was I saying? The consumer electronics show. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, it's happening all week. Yesterday, we had some interesting stuff come out of that. I posted a massive post on Discord and on my Patreon. So if you haven't already checked that out, do. Very, very interesting stuff. NVIDIA announcements, Tesla announcements, Sony announcements, Samsung, loads of things happening. And I'm excited to see what the rest of the week have. But yeah, it could absolutely boost tech stocks. Probably one of the main reasons why NVIDIA did well yesterday. Thanks to you, I got my first shares of Palantir. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. And your icon is Tesla. So also very nicely done. Which is going to shoot up first, Palantir or Tesla? I don't know. I can't predict the future. No idea. I'm bullish on both of them. I'm extremely bullish on both of them. 2024, I think, will be massive for both of them. So, my strategy is just to keep adding before it takes off like a rocket. 30% Palantir, 30% Oracle, and 40% mixed. It's still quite a bullish position. Very bullish position in Palantir. SoFi, my largest. SoFi is a very interesting one. I've covered it a few times on the second channel. We'll continue to do so. Very, very good last year. Hi from Singapore. Already have 12,000 shares with Palantir average cost at $18. 12,000 shares. Wow, that's a nice position. That's a very nice position. You don't need more than 10 stocks. Yeah, I think you can't keep track of them all. You can't research them all. You don't know what's going on in the company, with the stock. It's too much, in my opinion. Do you know Alpha Wave stock? It's a UK stock. No, never heard of that one. Never heard of them. What do they do? Let's have a look. Alpha Wave. Alpha Wave Semi is the global leader in high-speed connectivity for the world's technology infrastructure. Okay. Sounds interesting. See how they've been doing. Okay. Oh, they only went public not very long ago at all. Since then, they're down by 69.21%. Thoughts on the this is going to be the last one, and then we'll wrap up here. Don't want to steal too much of your time. Thoughts on a possible new Bitcoin ETF? Aunt Kathy seems to be bullish. It will be approved soon. What? I still don't understand why we call her Aunt Kathy. Gets me every time. Anyway, thoughts on it. I am also bullish. I think it's going to happen. I'm excited for when it does. I think one of two things will happen. Either we will see the quick inflow of money and the stock price of Bitcoin will shoot right up. The price of Bitcoin will shoot right up, or it will be a massive dump straight after, whereby it's gone up, people sell, it goes down, and then we see it sort of go up over time. But yeah, I definitely think it's coming. I don't know, but I find it particularly interesting that the traditional financial institutions, the banks, everything like that, for a long time have been speculating how unsafe cryptocurrency and crypto assets are. But in the background, whilst they've been doing that, and they've not been letting people, transfer money from their bank into a crypto, onto a crypto platform to buy crypto, that's all been happening. But in the background, what they've been doing is accumulating large amounts. Follow the money, people. They know something that we don't. So here we go. I do think that it's going to happen. I don't know when. It's bullish. I think that the money will flow into the altcoins after, Bitcoin's done. But exciting times. But I won't talk about crypto too much because I don't know how many people on this channel are interested in that. Very excited though. Let me know what you think, Blake. With that said, everybody, happy Tuesday. One last check on Palantir. Let's see what it's doing. Pre-market currently at $16.61 per share. We'll see what happens today. I'm going to say this here just because it happened yesterday. I hope that we see more Palantir partnerships soon. Let's see if that happens today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for supporting this channel. Remember, the second channel is there if you are wanting more content about different stocks. It's Stock Speak, STOCKSPEAK. God, I hope I said that right. You can also find it linked on my channel. With that said, have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thank you for joining. And oh, quickly, I won't be on a live stream tomorrow as I have to take my mum somewhere important. So I can't make it tomorrow. But just keep an eye on my community posts and on X, and I'll always let you know when I'm about to jump on a live stream. Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. And I will see you all soon somewhere on the internet. Bye, everyone.